each other through it. Come on and see, good movement draws good movement.
Welcome to Good Movement Draws Good Movement, the podcast where farmers, ranchers, and rural folks can grow relationally through awareness, understanding, and effective communication. Hey, it's T. I'm your host, and I, along with my guests, will be covering topics related to drawing good movement. Things like self and social awareness, brain science, positive psychology, extending grace, and so much more. We'll share tools that can help you understand why you are the way you are, why others are the way they are, and how you can use that to step out of self-told lies with grace and compassion to draw good movement in conversations, relationships, and life in rural America. Let's go draw good movement. Welcome back to the Good Movement Draws Good Movement podcast. As my friend and mentor would say, I'm all whipped up about something. It's something I've recently witnessed, experienced, heard of other people experiencing, and for a good portion of my life, it's something that I did. But before I get into what's got me all whipped up, if you've been thinking about diving deeper than just this cast pod into your inner work, you can schedule a free 30-minute call with me where we can connect face-to-face via Zoom and talk about what that might look like for you. Visit the link in the show notes and mention CastPod when you schedule to get 10% off one-on-one good movement guidance. The thing that has got me all whipped up is hearing of, witnessing, experiencing people dismissing other people's feelings and emotions. And I know this is largely unintentional and unconscious. It's not something I think that many of us, I know when I was doing it regularly, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. And that is why I wanted to bring it up on this episode or in this episode so that we can bring some awareness to it. And I think it's become over the course of the last 3 years for me more glaringly apparent when I am witnessing it on the receiving end of it. I can even catch myself wanting to go there because of the experiences of my life in the last 3 years with losing my dad, with growing the cancer, with the recent fires. All of these things have shaped me, affected me, and made me more aware of just how badly we want to make people feel better or find the silver lining. And none of those things are bad. However, in those moments of trauma and deep grief, that's not always the most helpful thing. You know, after my dad died, I heard things like, well, he's in a better place. And while that's true, it kind of just glossed over the deep grief that I was feeling. Or another thing that you will often hear, everything happens for a reason. You have so much to be grateful for. Again, those things are not inherently bad or wrong, and they can feel dismissive to the person on the receiving end. Or situations where someone is sharing their feelings, like, I am struggling with this thing that happened. And someone else who experienced the thing that happened also says, well, I see it totally different. I'm just so grateful for XYZ. Okay, both of those feelings are true and valid. What each person is feeling is true and valid. And if someone is telling you that they are struggling, stop. Refrain from trying to silver lining it. even if what you're feeling is nothing but gratitude. Sit with that person in their feelings. Ask them some honest questions. Get curious. Validate them. Say, I can see that you're struggling. Please tell me more about that. It's okay to even say, like, my perspective on the experience is different, but I would love to hear more about what you are feeling right now. Because frankly, when we jump to trying to fix things for people, it can feel like I'm saying this as a person who has experienced this. It can feel like your feelings are not valid, that you're wrong for feeling what you're feeling. And I've said this a few times on this podcast. We don't get to choose our feelings. We only get to choose what we do with the information that they are providing. And so if you are feeling something, it is valid. And when somebody comes along and says, "Oh, you have so much to be grateful for," or, "Oh, I didn't see it that way. I saw it this way." It can feel like you shouldn't be feeling that. It can feel really dismissive. I came across this reel on Instagram and like it just hit home to me because I was once in this place and I'm still in this place occasionally and it's something that I'm working on, but the reel says your kids' big feelings are loud, but I bet yours would be too if you'd ever been allowed to express them. And I think that I mean, it's pertaining to parenting and kids and all of that, but it fits here too, because I think a lot of times when we want to rush to solve problems and fix the things and make people feel better, a lot of times it's because we haven't historically been allowed to feel and express our feelings. And so that's something that I personally have been working on when I find myself feeling uncomfortable, as we discussed a couple of weeks ago. Empathy. I'm an empath, and so I can feel other people's feelings. And when I can feel them so deeply that I am rushing to do the things for the people that the things that are not mine to do, I take that as a sign to stop, to pause, to one, question if that's mine to do, if that's mine to feel, and also get curious about if there's some things that I haven't been allowing myself to feel. Are there some things that I haven't been allowing myself to express? Because this is the thing in our society, in our culture, feelings are not always met with warmth and safety, and they're not always welcome. And so, if the norm has been to do all that we can to get a better attitude or be happy or grateful or insert whatever it is, even if that's not what we're actually feeling, then it can feel really awkward when people around us are feeling and expressing those feelings. And so if you find yourself in a position where you feel awkward and you want to fix or solve or make someone feel better, take that as a sign to pause and get curious. And also, as we talked about a few weeks ago here on the Gas Pod, sometimes the best way to help someone feel better is to just be. Be with them, see them, hear them, hold them, sit with them in the hard feelings. And I was telling someone over the weekend, I'm recording this on a Wednesday, but last weekend I was telling someone we were talking about grief and loss and how it's hard to hold grief because we're not really taught to hold grief. We don't know how to hold grief. We don't know how to hold mystery. But when I learned that the best way that I could help someone was by sitting with them and holding space for them and seeing them and hearing them, and not that I had to say anything or do anything, it was a huge weight lifted on me, because honestly, I never knew what to say or what to do that would be helpful. So when I learned that the best thing that I could do was just sit there and listen and hold space, I was like, "Oh, I can do that." Like, I can sit with someone. I think I mentioned in that episode, actually, the best thing that anyone said to me after my dad died was, "I don't have the words, but I have a hug." And I accepted the hug. And I said, those were the perfect words to say, because honestly, that's what I needed. I just needed people to be present. And so when I hear or witness or experience the unintentional, unconscious, very well meaning words that feel on my end, or the way that I perceive them is sort of dismissive, it gets me whipped up. And what I mean by all whipped up, it gets me whipped up. Like, again, it's unconscious, it's unintentional, it's well meaning, and it's also not the most helpful. And I know this, again, because of my experience of the last 3 years. And so when I see this happening, I want to shine some light on it. I want to bring awareness to it. I want to, when I hear of this happening and I wasn't a part of it, I want to go to the person who was on the receiving end of it and sit with them and ask them to share their story with me and let them be and feel and just be there with them. So, anyway, again, like I said, I know that when this happens, it's not intentional, and it comes from a well meaning place. And I think also a lot of times it's unconscious. We don't even know we're doing it. But because I have that awareness, I want to bring more awareness to it. If this episode resonated with you and you'd like to dive deeper into this inner work, maybe you would like to get curious about why it's hard for you to hold space for other people's emotions. What emotions maybe you weren't allowed to express or feel. Visit the link in the show notes to schedule a free 30-minute call. And don't forget to mention CastPod for a 10% discount on one-on-one guidance. And with that, until next time, draw good movement. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you. If you found value in this episode, I'd love for you to share with others who might also benefit from tuning in. Share by word of mouth, send it in a text, take a screenshot and post it on social media, or share however you prefer. And if you haven't already, hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, draw good movement.